I'm sorry.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to today's Shotsuki Hoyo service, our monthly memorial. My name is Jane Naito, and I'll be your chairperson for today. Before we begin today's service, Reverend Dennis will come up and talk about the service order for the Shotsuki Hoyo. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Very nice to see so many here. Today's a special beginning with September coming, and we have our Dharma School families here a little bit earlier to have a beginning Dharma School session, and this is our Shotsuki service for the month of September. It's always a special, very special service, and I really appreciate this aspect of our Jodo Shinshu tradition, where we are able to recognize and acknowledge people we have lost, in whatever year, but in this month of September. And so families make the effort to come to these services and connect, encouraging their family members. Let's have this Shotsuki service that remember and honor, and to come to the service and to share in the Dharma, participate in the temple activity, and at the same time, as we do this, we are reconnecting with traditions that the family may have held for many, many years, maybe many generations. And through that, we connect ourselves to the family. I always try to, for me, it's like the family is a recognizable aspect of the infinite. And we want to be connected to the infinite. So it's as if our family members that we have lost, they become our guide, our gateway to connect to this infinite reality that we are all a part of. So this is what makes the Shotsuki service very, very significant, very meaningful. So each time we're able to come, not only our own family, it is special to come together. Maybe we have a plan to go out and eat afterwards or whatever we have planned, and that is nice. But not only family, but the family leads us, guides us to our connections to more and more and more. And for us to be able to recognize that we are part of this infinite reality is our Jodo Shinshu Connect tradition. Through that, our lives become more stable, more grounded, whatever we do with family, work, anything. We do it with a little more purpose and realization of who we are and how we fit in this whole picture. So today, all the more special, we have a guest speaker here. And then at the Jodo Shinshu Center, we have what is known as the IMOC program. And ministers from Japan come to see how things are done in the United States, and they come and stay for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and it might vary, but with the Jodo Shinshu Center in Berkeley, they call upon the temples that are pretty close by to be able to have their IMOP participants come and visit. Sensei has gone to the San Mateo Temple and visited a number of temples, but Alameda is often called upon, and we're very happy to accommodate. And so we get an additional guest speaker when they have someone available. And Shotsuki is a busy time for us because after this service, we visit a little bit, and then I go on to Enmanji in Sebastopol, and they have their Shotsuki service. So I'm pulling Sensei's whole family in a little wagon, and we're going to take them up to Sebastopol for their 2 o'clock Shotsuki service up there. So it's a busy day for Sensei. So Sensei's name is Sasaki. Reverend Giei Sasaki, and wife Mari, and Eiki is their son. So very happy to have them, and it's always interesting to bring people. It's not usual that we have a Buddhist temple, Jodo Shinshu temple in a Victorian style house, and we just consider it home, right? We've been here for many, many years, but it is unusual. So we come into the gate, and we're very excited and happy to see the gate that we come in the Japanese garden. I brought them to the front of the temple and looking at our house and describing how everything is very pretty now because of all the work that the temple made for the centennial of a number of years ago now. I think it was 2016, is that right? Yeah. So very happy to bring visiting ministers from Japan, and kind of showing off our temple. This is what Alameda has, and on the way kind of describing how we did our last few Bonodori festivities, and no longer being just open to the public, but participation from our members, and being able to share that. We were here, most of us were here for the Obon, and it's kind of a big change to let's not sell food, let's not make it a fundraiser, and so our members have to work so hard and they can't even participate. They're too busy in the wrapping, cooking udon to come out and dance. And so the last couple of years we've had everybody available to participate if they were able to, willing to, and so it's just kind of a nice feeling, just a sense of Obon and what it's supposed to be, rather than trying to sell this and that, and we need that too, but Obon has a very special feeling, very special meaning, and so just to be able to share that with them. Okay. So for the Shotsuki service, we're going to have the reading of the names for September, and during the reading of the names, please come up and offer incense, and then go back to take your seats. And after the reading of the names and everyone has come up to Oshoko, we'll have sutra chanting and the Hyobyakumon. So that portion, Jane will guide you with the page numbers and this and that. But initially, we will start with the reading of the names, and please come up and offer incense. Okay. These are the Shotsuki names for the month of September. Akinaga Osamu, Bruno, Alberta, Doi, Akitaka, Fukayama, Akiko, Hasegawa, Akira, Hatakeda, Tomo, Hayame, Ray, Hori, Yoshie, Imazumi, Kanae, Imazumi, Rose, Toshiko, Inoue, Chikara, Iwaihara, Katsutaro, Kataoka, Hisao, Kawahara, Yukino, Kobu, Sensaburo, Komatsu, Kameko, Kumamoto, Heihachiro, Maruyama, Kazuko, Mashimoto, Ryuzo, Matsuoka, Edward, Masao. We can come up two at a time. There's plenty of space here. Maeda, Kinu, Makrasuki, Asako, Mikami, Naoyamon, Mochizuki, Kiyoshi, Moritomo, Infant, Itsuko, Murakawa, Takao, Meyer, Richard, Rick, Nagai, Infant, Francis, Nakano, Makoto, Nakano, Tsuchino, Nakao, Toshiko, D, Nakao, Toyokichi, Nakaso, Iku, Ishikawa, Kimio, Norie, Misuye, Ogawa, Infant, Kiyomi, Omi, Henry, Sugitani, Saburo, Sugiyama, Infant, Shiro, Tabushi, Hinaka, Tamura, Ray, Tajima, Nobu, Takeda, Isaburo, Tateyama, Mitsuye, Tsuchiya, Marie, Tsurumoto, Tori, Tsuyuki, Kentaro. Let's use both burns, okay. Both sides. Umene, Torakichi, Yamada, Koichi, Yamamoto, Emiko, Yamamoto, Motonori, Yamamoto, Yujiro, Yamasaki, Magoichi. Yamasaki, Shina. These are the Shotsuki names for the month of September. If there are additions or corrections, please notify the office.
We will now have the reading of the Sambujo in the purple book. It's on page 24 and 25, followed by the reading of the Kyobukamon, which talks about the purpose of today's service.
Yogakumon. Today, on this occasion of the Shotsuki service for the month of September, members of the temple families have reverently come before Amida Buddha in memory of their beloved. With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida, we reaffirm the three homages. Namo Kie Butsu, Namo Kie Ho, Namo Kie So. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Please repeat the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda.
We will now chant the Amida Kyo on page 103 in the Purple Book.
Shakko 芸大行者臨調子証拠法師用語釈子釈語逆子百語二用法決者理法裏国道上重尿性空毒証拠ルシャリ法一部国道調査天学黄金日昼夜六時二万ダラテ国修上上位小単各位で国領宗教系空領他本十万六仏即位地域伝統本国本地教業シャリ法国ら国領長寿尿税空力将軍仏師シャリ法理国上部修十奇妙雑誌新教学校空弱法務シャリ法領便が軍用市長聖書中長小や六時水和霊音高音年長高根合力七宝大軍八章の分量税東本行動修正門税音に体質念仏念法念祖シャリ法上物因市長実税財法少々小医者が義部国土分散幕州シャリ法東部国土小無産幕道信用家教運出税所州庁改正や二が仏教領法温泉流園芸少佐シャリ法義部国土義部水道消防法中流法ラモ水二尿二尿百千十百常識草門税音社会人年上年仏年法年相死心シャリ法
Please stand for our first gatha in the white book, Namu Amida Butsu, on page 96. and then remain standing for the reading of the three treasures, which will be in the purple book on page 8.
Standing, we'll read the three treasures on page 8 in the purple book. We're getting good at switching books, aren't we? Okay, three treasures. Number 1. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be free from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony, in the spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teachings. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Please be seated. Okay, next we have our guest speaker, Reverend Giei Sasaki, and we're very honored to be able to have him here. His primary language is Japanese, so he told me on the way, this is my first English Dharma talk. So exciting to have Sensei speaking in English, and it's kind of a test, I think. So we get to enjoy Sensei and sharing his perspectives, and maybe he can add some stories of his adventures, just coming to America and what he has been able to see and collect from the different temples. You know, he has been to a number of them, and each one does something a little bit different, and different ministers. Sometimes they might be from Japan, or sometimes they are born and raised in our temples, or sometimes they're new to the Jodo Shinshu ministry and the ways of the temple. So different kind of perspectives you would come across as you visit the different temples. So I'd like to have Sensei come up and speak. They only like to sit till 11 o'clock. You get 40 minutes. Please come up. Yeah. Please welcome Sasaki Sensei.
Thank you for attending this service. I wish to express my gratitude at the Reverend Fujimoto Sensei, and I am truly grateful and delighted to spend this time with you all. Let me introduce my family first. Our family lives in Kyoto weekdays, consisting of my wife, Mary, and our son, he's the understeer, my son, Eki, and myself. On weekends, I serve as a head priest at the ancestral temple where my parents reside. My temple is on the shore of Lake Biwa. If you come to Nishi Hongaji Temple in Kyoto, you can reach my temple about 1 hour by car from there. Since it's close, please come and visit us. We would be delighted to have you. Since 2000, we have been visiting Philadelphia every year at our own expense. It's been more than 20 years now. My son has a physical disability. It is caused by a subdural hematoma, which led to seizure when he was just 100 days old. Mary and I found the Institute for Brain-Injured Children in Philadelphia about 20 years ago, and we have been visiting this place every year since then. In Philadelphia, there is a non-profit organization that promotes the growth of healthy children and deals with physical disabilities. In addition to children from the United States, they welcome children from all over the world. Fortunately, he has been doing well with their care and program. Our family has been so inspired by the devotion the organization's founder and the staff that we make an effort to visit every year. At first, we struggled with language barriers and difference in customs, but now we have made many friends and feel that it is our second home. As this feeling has grown in me, I began to reflect upon how I might do more to share this Jodo Shinshu teaching that I have studied. I have studied the Jodo Shinshu at Ryukoku University in Kyoto, and being a teacher over 30 years upon graduation from graduate school. I teach mainly at Ryukoku University and the Central Buddhist Institute. At Honganji, as a bishop, I am involved in training students. I also translated almost all of the sutra of the Pure Land and the writings of Shinran Shonin into Japanese. So my wish to meet with Jodo Shinshu Buddhists overseas has grown stronger. One of my dreams is to transcend the language barrier and spread the Jodo Shinshu around the world. I imagine how great it would be if that happened. I wish I could appear at TED. Do you know TED? It's an American TV program, and I hope to be able to introduce the wonderful aspects of Jodo Shinshu on that program. In order to do this, I know I also have to master English as well as I better work hard. My another dream is to help my son become independent in America. I'd be ready to do anything I can to achieve these two dreams when there is an opportunity. This has been a lengthy preface, but today I wish to speak to you on the topic I call a warm cup of tea, a single recitation of the Nembutsu. In other words, I would like to talk about those who have reached the Pure Land as well as the compassion of Amida Buddha using the example of a cup of tea. So, in Japan, August used to be called Hazuki when the lunar calendar was still used. A Hazuki literally means leaf month. It was originally expressed as the month when leaves fall, but being shortened, it came to simply be called leaf month or Hazuki. In solar calendar, Hazuki corresponds to September, which is the beginning of autumn when leaves start to fall. In September, we begin to feel the signs of autumn in the air, and the daylight becomes shorter. By the time you finish your work for the day, you may sometimes feel a chill on your way home. Arriving home, you say, "I'm home." Then someone responds, "Welcome back, you must be cold." And even a cup of tea might be presented. When the person says, "Get warm" or "warm up," you will surely reply, "Thanks." What you find there is a person's kind, caring, and sympathy. The tea immediately offered upon your return signifies how deeply that person has been anxious about you. With such warm hospitality, the person who is treated will surely enjoy the tea with words of gratitude. The same goes for the recitation of the Nembutsu. Shinran Shonin explained the significance of the Nembutsu from three aspects. First, he described the Nembutsu as the compassionate voice of Amida Buddha, who constantly calls to us. It corresponds with the caring words welcoming you home. Thus, the recitation of the Nembutsu or Namo Amida Butsu is the calling voice of Amida Buddha, who is concerned about us who suffer from the coldness of our own ignorance. Second, Shinran Shonin explains that the Nembutsu is created from Amida Buddha's great compassion. In other words, the Buddha's caring heart has been imbued in the Nembutsu. When Amida Buddha had yet to be enlightened and still Bodhisattva Dharmakara, he saw people suffering. They were actually us. To save us, the Bodhisattva pledged to guide us to his Pure Land. To fulfill the vow, Bodhisattva Dharmakara accumulated merits by conducting practices for years. All of his effort came from his boundless caring heart, that is great compassion. The Nembutsu is a materialization of this caring heart. Like a cup of tea offered upon your return, the Nembutsu is provided so that we are able to recite it at any time. The Nembutsu was prepared for us even before we felt like saying it. Third, Shinran Shonin describes the Nembutsu as a practice which was specified in the primal vow. In this vow, Amida Buddha pledges to save all living beings by letting them say my name. When it is offered from someone's genuine kindness, a cup of tea should soften your rigid heart. Likewise, the Nembutsu filled with Amida Buddha's compassion includes the salvific working that eventually guide us to enlightenment in the Pure Land. Since the Nembutsu is created from the genuine caring heart of Buddha, it works. Now, let me reflect on how we should receive a cup of tea that is offered with genuine kindness. The Yabunouchi school is a tea ceremony school, which has served tea to the successive head priest or Gomonshu of the Honganji. In various occasions since the tenure of the 13th Monshu, Ryonyo Shonin, the Yabunouchi school passed down a poem which communicates the spirit of the tea ceremony host as follows. 素直なる心を映す技なれば、手つき曲がらず素直なるべし。Now let me share the meaning of it. The way of serving tea reflects your sincere aspiration of treating a guest. That's why you should behave gently and gracefully in accordance with your caring heart. Thus, the tea ceremony makes the host's true thoughts visible in his or her demeanor. When the host's caring heart is communicated to the guest, a sense of gratitude naturally arises in the heart of the guest. Imagine the Nembutsu or Namoamida Butsu is a cup of tea. The tea of the Nembutsu reflects the pure, compassionate heart of Amida Buddha. In addition, this tea is filled with the salvific working that is in accord with the Buddha. Therefore, when reciting the Nembutsu, we should imagine Amida Buddha serving us a cup of warm tea. In this way, we should keep reminding ourselves to be thankful to Amida Buddha, who will never stop working to guide us through the stormy weather of life. So, In this limited time, I am not sure if I was able to fully explain the topic of a warm cup of tea, a single recitation of the Nembutsu. But I am truly delighted and grateful to have had this opportunity to meet all of you. Please take good care of your health in the midst of this ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you very much. ようこそお参りになられました。ラマダウス
Thank you very much, Sensei. That was your English test number 1. Here's your English test number 2. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and you can just answer. So, on the way, you told me that your temple, family temple, was right by Lake Biwa. And I was so surprised. I have no idea how large Lake Biwa is, and I kind of assumed like a Lake Tahoe kind of large lake. It's the largest lake in Japan. And I asked him, how many temples are in that area, the Lake Biwa area? And he thinks a moment, and he says, 200 maybe? I can't even fathom. I mean, we don't even have that many casinos around Lake Tahoe. But that's your family temple, and you grew up there. So from a childhood. Right. So was that like your play area, where you could go to the lake and do swimming?
Yes.
What did you do there? Describe it so we know a little bit about Lake Biwa area. Speak into the microphone.
When I'm children, I swim 2 or 3 kilometers. Every day, in summer, every day I'm swimming. I'm very active boy. So every day I swim.
Okay. Did you have brothers and sisters or?
My brother died very small.
Oh, young.
So I'm one person, one son.
Okay. And so, how big, like Lake Biwa, how many high schools?
High school. It's a difficult question for me. Maybe 100 schools. I don't know how many. Very difficult.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just trying to get a sense of Lake Biwa and different. It's like a mountainous also, right?
Yeah.
Next to the lake.
Two mountains. West side there is Hira Mountains, and east side are Suzuka Mountains. Two big mountains.
So is that like here they have national forest or park? Is it like that, or is it like a monastery, Mount Hiei kind of?
Yes. Mount Hiei is Hira Samyaku, one of the Hira Samyaku.
Oh, part of.
Okay.
Okay. So of the two mountainous areas he's describing, one of them is Mount Hiei, where Shinna Choni studied, is part of that group of mountains. Okay. Yeah. Anybody have a question for Sensei?
English test done.
Difficult,
I want
hard
to watch.
question.
How many generations is this temple?
Okay, your temple, how many generations of your family?
24 or 5 generation.
Okay.
Very old temple.
Okay, so you're number 25?
Yes, 25.
Wow. Yeah, so in Japan, the temples are handed down from father to son, and 25 generations his family has had this temple, and Sensei is the 25th generation. And even that, it's hard to fathom, very difficult. So amazing. We're very fortunate to have you here, Sensei. So we're going to conclude our service here, and then your English test number 3, we go down to the social hall, and you have to talk to everybody. So this is his opportunity to practice English and to see how interaction with the Sangha. So don't be shy. Come up and say hello to Sensei. You might not have another chance. So please take a moment to say hello to Sensei and his wife and son. Okay? So let's conclude this part of the service with Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Thank you, Sensei. I think you did well on your test. Please stand again for our second gatha in the white book. It's We Are One on page 150. Before we conclude, I want to thank everybody who helped with the altar preparations, for Sensei setting up the YouTube, and then Lenny for playing the organ today, the altar flowers, and for the people who brought refreshments for this afternoon. We want to acknowledge the newcomers today in the Sangha. If you're new to our services, if you could please stand and introduce yourselves. Everybody's shy today. Okay, then announcements. Next Sunday we're having Ohigan service, and we're gonna have, and it's also our Keiro Kai celebration. We honor those who are over 88 at our temple. We're also gonna have a little luncheon after that, and we're trying to get RSVP. So if you can come to next Sunday's service, we'd like to stay for the luncheon. Please let Gail know. Gail, wait for you. She's sitting over there. Let her know, and so we can get a count for that. And then also, we're gonna have bingo afterwards too. Come for the bingo. And let's see. And then we're having a bento sale on October 21st. So the order form's on our website. It's chicken teriyaki this time, so please order. It's pick up, pre-order, and pick up only. And I think think that's it. Any other announcements today? Okay, then that will conclude today's service. Thank you for coming, and please do a shofo before you leave.